Very nice. Welcome to another episode of Tales of the Arctic Axemen. My guest today is Joseph Piilonen. Is that how you say it? Piilonen?
Piilonen.
Piilonen.
Yeah.
Joseph Piilonen. Now, I started this show to showcase some of the great Canadian musicians that I've seen over the years. And I'm a guitar player. A lot of my YouTube subscribers are guitar players. Mm-hmm. So I thought we could also have a little bit of one guitarist talking to the other about the craft.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I first came to know of you, or actually I saw you at the Orbit Room.
Okay.
You weren't playing. You were there. Okay. It was on when Joey Landreth and Chris Cadell were playing.
Probably, yeah.
And I recognized you as being a musician type.
Yeah,
And then we went to John Mayer concert. It was like 3 days after that or something.
Okay, yeah.
And you were busking outside.
Yeah.
And I recognized you from the club.
Yeah, right. Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, I recognized you there. Then a couple months later, I saw that you were sitting in with Chris.
Yeah.
I didn't know you yet, but I started following you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like your posts. Great playing, man. Very tasteful.
Too kind, man.
Great tone, great phrasing, and soulful and from the heart, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And then, when I messaged you to be on here,
I'm bad at replying.
No, it's okay. Your girlfriend is the sister of one of my former students, right?
Yeah.
So it was another connection telling me that I got to get you on the show.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man. Hey, it's great. So, my pleasure. So how did you get started on guitar? What was the moment when you were like, I'm going to be a musician?
It was pretty singular. Like, I remember the moment. It wasn't, I think it was kind of, I don't know. I didn't start when I was younger.
Yeah.
I started when I was 18. I'm 29 now, so it's been like 11 years. I came out of a lot. Like, I had a lot going on in my life that was kind of stressful. And from that, I started listening to different music. And from there, I realized, like, I think I was listening to Pink Floyd. And I couldn't pick apart the instruments yet. I just heard this sound that moved me. And eventually my friend pointed out, like, that sound is the guitar. I'm like, oh, if I play the guitar, I can make that sound? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. Yeah. So, like, he let me borrow his guitar, and, sorry, a different friend let me borrow their guitar for the evening. And I, like, remember the moment where I tried playing it, I just felt, it was interesting. I don't know. I remember, like, having the guitar in my lap on the way home for the first time, and, like, I just felt like I found something that I could dig into forever and get lost in and feel good about. And like it was all like very much in that moment, and I like said I'm gonna do this, and I like started playing. Like, I think the first thing I learned is like the first few notes of like "Shining You Crazy Diamond." So like you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Right.
So you're already bending strings.
That's the first thing I tried
Did you already?
doing.
Already going right for it.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
And I just like the sound it made. Right.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Was like expressive, right?
Absolutely.
Like I think when I was 13, my friend tried showing me how to play like Seven Nation Army on the acoustic. He's like, I'm like, I don't really want to. If that's what playing guitar is, I'm out. Like, sorry, man. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah. I want to express myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like when like real life hit, and it was like, oh, I want to like express my feelings. Like, I'm like this like thing just kind of came into play, and it just like worked perfectly as a vehicle for that.
Yeah.
So I started playing because I didn't want to, not because I wanted to play favorite tunes. I wanted to express myself from kind of the get go.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So what were some of those early challenges? Like you said, like when
died.
you were, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My mom died when I was like 17. So like when I was 15, she got sick. And before that, I listened to like hip hop, and I like shaved my head and like wanted to be a basketball player. I like wore basketball jerseys and like had a chain and like.
I was a cowboy until rock and roll hit.
Yeah. So I like all that stuff happened and like changed my life overnight. It was all very abrupt.
Yeah?
Everything was like normal, and then it was not normal, and it was very abrupt, and it was like all within a day a lot changed. And so like out of that massive amount of change, I just found myself eventually looking for, I don't know, I felt like I was looking for something. I remember I had this distinctive moment in my basement. I used to play a lot of video games as a kid and watch TV a lot and whatever else, and I had this moment when I was like sitting in my basement on a couch, and I had a CD in my hands, and I was watching like the reflection of the light on the ceiling, and I realized like I'm ultimately bored. I'm like super bored, and not just because there's nothing to do, but there's something that I can do that like satisfies my bigger purpose in life. You know, like
Absolutely.
I didn't want to like just sit at a computer anymore and play games that get me in circles and make me go nowhere with my time. Like,
yeah.
I want to do something and dig into something that I can like dig into forever and just like move me forward and do something with, and like all that it kind of plugged all the holes in that sense, you know. So when I like started realizing that I could play music, and that was a thing that I had the option of choosing to do with my time, was like, oh, I want to do that all the time, and I just like chose to do that, and I just like threw everything else away. I
could tell through your playing that you really threw yourself into it, because you know you have your own sound with it, and it seems that your playing is like how you said, you don't care to learn other people's songs. You really play like that. You're cool. It's a great expression, man.
Yeah, that's really what I want it to be. I think it's the purpose in my mind, right? So I wanna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, like I think once I started playing, like I was I already signed up to go to university for a year, just for like a general arts program. So I went and I took like Buddhism and psychology, and things were cool. But like
naturally,
yeah. But like I just like played guitar the whole time, and I didn't go to class. And I like pretty much just school. Like I didn't go to my exams. Like just like dropped out.
You were just
I'm
into
I'm
this.
gonna do this. And I just like left, and I just like I've done this since. So I started off, and it was like a struggle at first because I didn't know what I was doing. But I realized if I wanted to do this in life as an 18-year-old now, I got to start now, and I got to work hard right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not gonna happen ever. And I'm still like, you know, I just turned 30, and now it's like, you know, I think I said I was 29 earlier. It's not said yet. I'm 30. Wow.
You're not even used to it.
Yeah, 30. Well, life is hard. But yeah, that's funny. So yeah, I realized I had to do it quick, and I had to work hard. So I just like threw everything else away and realized I had to do this.
Yeah.
So I just did
and what was some of the stuff when you were starting out that you were, like you said, the Shine On Crazy Diamond in
Pink
that
Floyd
band?
is like, David Gilmour was like my dude.
Oh yeah.
That's like where I started. So like, I just thought his playing was really purposeful.
Absolutely.
That it was like no frills. It wasn't like showy. It wasn't. I didn't ever want to be one of those dudes. Anyways, you know, it's not my style. I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to. I don't know. For lack of
There's a lot of guys out there doing that, so you might as well find your own thing that you're.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't. My intentions were different. Like I wasn't learning this to like be good at guitar. I wasn't learning a guitar to be a good guitar player. I was learning guitar because I really wanted to like get my feelings out. I wanted to like make art out of the feelings.
Absolutely.
You know? So like I feel like I still want to do that. I want to like record my own music is my goal with this.
Yeah.
So this is like a means for that.
Yeah.
So I love to play, and I've fell in love with playing guitar, period, in the process of all this stuff. But it's always been a means for that versus just being a guitar player for guitar playing's sake. But I fall in love with just playing as well.
Oh, the physical challenge is in the beginning. What you know?
I found one thing that I found I really touched upon in my most recent years, actually, that I found I struggled with in the beginning that I didn't realize was just being like too heavy-handed, like trying to do too much too quickly, and in the process making bad technique.
Yeah.
Like really, even recently, I've like really slowed down and changed how I played. Like instead of running like I'm doing like an E scale.
Sure.
Like I wouldn't use that fingering before.
Yeah.
It seems like awkward if I thought about it.
Yeah.
Like first pinky, first pinky, first pinky, pinky, first pinky, second.
Yeah.
It seems awkward, but like if I let my hand be natural and I take my time with the noting, it feels good with my hand. And the more I do that, the more it feels good. And
yeah.
Like my skill and my playing just feels better because I'm taking my time more. In the beginning, I was in such a rush that I think my problems with playing came from the fact that I didn't take my time with my playing. I think playing itself is okay, and like what I always tell students of mine is that one note alone is never too difficult, or it isn't difficult at all. It's a matter
but it's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
At the same time,
yeah, exactly.
you know?
Because you have to restrain yourself.
Yeah.
You have to, like,
and to play it right, you know, to really get the most out of it.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and you have to. But I think you got to start there, and I feel like I didn't start there. I was in such a rush to get everything done that I feel like I made a bunch of bad habits off the bat. And so it took me a while to sort my bad habits out. I feel like I'm still sorting my bad habits out, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I found, for the first while, I found it frustrating because I thought it took more physical exertion than it did. It doesn't take a ton of physical exertion if you know how to use the techniques, right?
Yeah.
And you can make the guitar work for you versus having to like really fight
Strangle it and fight it.
Yeah, you know, like ideally being really light-handed I think is really helpful. And I didn't know that for a long time.
Yeah, like not pressing harder than you have to, right?
Yeah.
Just efficiency.
Yeah. And I think I also like lacked knowledge of how important it was to just like be in the pocket, and I didn't understand the concept of like really being in time and like.
To me, it's everything timing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like fitting into that, like everything I play now, I'm always keeping track of where I am in regards to the beat. Everything, whether it be a lick or a chord, whatever. I'm always
where it fits and
where everything.
Yeah.
It always has to be locked in, and if it's not locked in, then I'm not practicing it fully. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really like big game changer. It was a big game changer for me, you know, because then like your phrase becomes so much more like it's shaped by the rhythm of and how you wrap the line around the rhythm as well as how you wrap the line around the notes. Like it's
Absolutely.
shaped by both.
Yeah.
And you can make a really simple line note-wise have a lot of power by having it be a really strong rhythmic line.
Yeah.
Even if it's a simple rhythm, it's still a strong rhythm, you know?
Yeah.
And that really goes far. like David Gilmour, like off the bat, like I noticed a lot of it was like simple, strong rhythms. There's not a lot of complicated rhythms in his playing. His lead lines. It's like simple, but he always like is putting chord tones on like the proper beat.
That's the one thing with him.
Yeah.
You could hear it, even that, like the first solo, Uncomfortably Numb. He's playing right over the changes.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. Or like the solo in Mother.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, right? That's another one. Yeah.
He's just like playing the C chord. I'm out of tune, it's out right now, but you know, like he's like just playing through the chords. He does that a lot. Yeah. All of his like lines are like chord lines.
Right out of the chord, and it's so much more engaging, I think, as a listener too. Yeah. And also, if you were to cut out the rest of it, the whole band, you could hear those chords changing. Yes,
exactly. And there's like I realized there's a big power to that. And I lacked all that musical knowledge at first. Like I did take lessons in my early playing for a little bit. Yeah. And I didn't find the lessons the most helpful part. It was where the lessons pointed me. Like my teacher said, you should go to open mics and go out and see live music. And my teacher was really good. He's the guy I went out and saw a lot play in town. Yeah. And he was the first person I met that got me like thinking like a musician. Like this is an A chord. This is an inversion of A.
Yeah. Learn them all and learn the scales around them.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Like, I never thought like that before. Yeah. So he got me really thinking like that. But seeing people use them in motion is what really got me going home. Being like, oh, I got to use that. That sounded really cool. Yeah. You know, like, so yeah. Like I think in terms of like problems off the bat or things with my playing, I feel like I just didn't take my time. And I feel like that's undervalued, period. Yeah. As a concept.
You got to enjoy the whole thing, right? And like to take that one note and just try to figure out every way in which you could play it and to make it sound as good as possible.
Yeah, and like I really drive this home with students of mine is that like making the simple things strong will make the playing sound so much stronger than doing a lot. Yeah. It's so much stronger that way because your rudiments are in order and it just sounds musically good. It just feels good and everything's placed right and it's the right note at the right time and it's simple but it's right. Yeah. You know, and you can hear when it feels like that. And it doesn't have to be a lot then. You don't have to overdo it then because you're like just putting the right things in the right spots. Yeah. You know? And I think it feels better that way.
Oh, yeah. You know? I even think as a listener that people pick up on that more. Agree. I always kind of feel like, you know, as a guitar player, you say you get into it and you start to see guys who could really, you know, shred and all this. Yeah. And although it's impressive, I think mostly just two guitar players. Yeah, I agree. You know, people, when you go out and you see guitar players like a David Gilmour, that moves everybody. Yeah, exactly. You know? Exactly. Yeah. It depends on what you want, I guess. Like in my mind, it's always been, again, a vehicle for like being a human being versus a vehicle for being like, look how good I can shred. Yeah. You know, I guess that's why like I'm not really good at my shred licks. I don't know. I can't tap for the life of me. I already do any of that. I don't know. I don't play that fast even. You know, like. Yeah. I can't. But you found your sound and it works and it's a great sound and I think people will, you know, when they hear you play, they could recognize the soul and the passion, the heart behind it. You know. So let's just take something, it's like you're saying, the simple things, and I know you have a few things, like your vibrato it's really good, you know, it really, you can make a one note sing, and I think that's one of those things you're saying, a lot of guys kind of overlook that, and just,
yes, hugely, yes.
Because they become very vocal-like. You actually, your playing kind of reminds me of like a slide guitar player. Yeah. You do a lot of things on one string that, you know.
Big fan of Derek Trucks. Yeah. Love Derek Trucks. When I like started listening to Derek Trucks, it changed my playing a lot. And it gave me like, I think I got tired of like almost the guitar player approach of like pentatonic box and big band up to the one. And all, like, I'm like, and I still like that. Sometimes that's the right thing. You got to dig in that really mean way. But like, I got tired of like that being the go-to, and I kind of like heard him, and it really spun everything on its head for me. You know, so like instead of being like, I don't know, say I'm doing a line into an A chord. Instead of being, I can go, and it's like so different, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Even just something like that. Just play over the A for a bit. Yeah. Before? Yeah. It's different. Like, you know. Exactly, right?
So different.
So you kind of have that lick. I'm going to try to steal
Yeah,
that.
please do that. I want you to the 6.
Yep. Yep.
And I can slip from there up to the 1. Yeah.
Yeah, then you got this.
Yeah. So even with that, I find people ask me, people get confused by what I'm doing with this. I'm actually compressing the bar while I slide.
Okay,
So I'm like...
Oh, man, that's a
know?
great sound. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm not... I can let it release that. I'm not having to hold it at a pitch.
So you're pushing it in.
Pushing it down as I'm sliding it so it scoops up as I finish.
Oh, that's great.
And I can just vibrato it if I want.
How did you stumble onto that technique?
I don't even know.
Just became your thing, right?
I think it was like a busking. I was busking a lot.
Yeah.
At this time, and I don't know. I found busking frustrating for a lot of reasons, but what's it called? I felt like it wouldn't let me practice because it's different than practicing, where I can sit and work on my stuff. But out of doing that and having to work on my ideas in motion a lot, I like for like hours at a time doing like a lead, like maybe like come up with some new things almost by accident. And I realized, I don't know, like I realized I wanted to get that like I wasn't complete enough doing.
Yeah, because that is one thing to slide up, but once you add that, it's like a whole new dimension. Oh yeah,
so different.
Yeah,
right? And like. I don't even really know how I stumbled onto it, but I feel like that even alone would really like change my guitar playing a lot.
It's something I noticed immediately. I think a lot of people would because it's unique.
Well, as soon as I started doing it, people started asking me questions right away. Like guitar players I know that I talked to were like, "What was that thing you're doing with your Emmy bar?" Like, I've never seen you do that. What is that? Like, and it was like noticeable like right away to most people.
Your guitar stay in tune pretty well.
These two will slip a lot.
Yeah.
But I heard Van Halen talk about this once in an interview. Like he just tugs the G string back into place.
Yeah,
and I find that works for me too.
Yeah,
you know, I can kind of tug them back into place. I do have to watch them a lot. I'm always like watching my tuner, or
see if they slip
on the floor or whatever. Yeah, to make sure it's not slipping out. You know, because you have to kind of watch them. But like for the most part, if I like use this, I'll kind of tuck them back into place a bit. I don't know. I'm tuning it too. Like I'm pretty particular about tuning. Like I'm not sure this is like worth talking about, but like I find people don't fully think about tuning as much as they should.
Oh, intonation and
like
the whole thing.
Simple things like there's I did a thing at Humber, like an audition at Humber once for the jazz program.
Okay.
And the guy doing the audition, who I already like kind of knew, mentioned that like he can tell if a guitar player is really great by how he tunes. And I didn't know what he meant. And I kind of thought I knew what he meant, but I totally did not know what he meant. But I found, even with a tuner, it's not always right. And it's about the stacking of the intervals. And if you can hear the relationships right, like this is a fifth, which is not right now. This is the fourth, which is not. Like,
so you would tune to the chord.
I would tune to the chord a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Sort of like, even just like the Van Halen, like Running with the Devil, how he's stacking them.
Yeah,
like getting that in tune for something like that, right?
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Because I think the big thing for me was this chord in like Little Wing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does that chord. He does it a lot of tunes.
Oh yeah. That's sort of his thing, right?
Yeah. I think recently, especially, I've kind of dug into the fact that we're stacking fifths.
Yeah.
And if those are like really nicely in tune. Makes it really nice. Oh yeah. So it's like there's no funny wobble. I find people do this lick. Yeah. It doesn't sound right because normally there's one of them out of tune a little bit. It sounds like
you can hear that intonation.
You know, It's so much stronger, you know, and that chord becomes such a powerful tool. It's like being in tune.
Oh right? Man, like about the tuning. Yeah, like I went and saw Yngwie Malmsteen. And all the crazy guitar shredding and savagery that he does. the thing that I really took away
Yeah.
was his intonation, because
Yeah.
when he bends a note, it feels like the room's going to explode.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
yes.
the vibration
Yes.
just, you know.
Yeah, and I think I'm big
Yeah.
on that. The fact that we're making physical vibrations.
Yeah.
That you want to, like, this chord is making these vibrations, which are now out of tune again.
Yeah.
But you want to be making that vibration over that. Like, that's why a chord tone works over the chord, because you're vibrating.
Yeah.
It makes a like it, you know.
It's like stacking harmony, right?
Yeah, it's how it works. That's how, like,
Yeah.
musical principles work. Right? So, I think it's important. Tune again. Good lord. But I find that's really undervalued. Just like actually listening for your tuning, intonation, and with a bend, or like things like that. Actually, like listening to what your notes are, and how the relationships are between them, and all that kind of stuff. Again, like I realized I just love. That's such a
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Even just how Hendrix would do like the, you know, like that, like, but always kind of hammer, keep that open string,
very much so,
sort of thing.
so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so.
Playing right out of the chord, all the rhythm stuff that he would do.
Yeah. I'm big on all that. Actually, something I kind of took from. I think I kind of got it from Philip. I was talking about that pinky stuff.
Yeah.
Like, recently I've been doing all my double stops with my pinky instead, and I think I kind of got it from almost by accident by watching Philip Sace play a lot. You know Philip Sace?
Oh, I've seen him a couple times live. Yeah.
Dude's great.
Yeah.
He's always wrapping his hand around the guitar.
Yeah.
And I always like wondered like how his technique works, because he's always like this, and he's like his whole hand. I'm like, how are you playing with your whole hand like that?
Yeah.
And, like,
he's muting out a lot though when he's
muting
playing,
a lot,
right?
Yeah. But I find even like this, I'm doing a double stop on the second and third strings.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look like that when you're looking at it.
No.
That's how it feels good to me now. So like doing all these like Hendrix chords like feels kind of different for me, because using all this like pinky stuff in a way that's, I don't know, just it feels really good though. They feel stronger than ever, these tools, for me, when I changed to my pinky versus my third finger. As much as it seems almost uncommon, like I found it really changed a lot.
When you say, if you were just a pentatonic, like bending up to the root like that, do you use your pinky? Do you use
usually the third finger
bends like that a little easier to get under?
Or the second finger even.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But like usually like from this position, like I'm big on like positioning and having the fingering be correct.
That works for you.
I'm super big on that, you know?
Yeah.
And letting it kind of be the same, so it's not different for your fingers. Your fingers know what to do. You can rely on your fingers doing the things they need to do, and it's not always changing beneath their feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you want to kind of think of like, if I'm going to run this scale, I'm going to use these fingers every time in this way, so that my fingers can learn the pattern.
Yeah.
Just get used to it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're talking about busking.
Yeah.
That's what I did for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's where I started, TTC busker. That's how. It taught me a few things looking back at it, but a lot of frustrating things too. So maybe you can talk about some of the things that you got out of it, and some of the things that you found a little bit frustrating.
Right, so with busking, I guess I never really wanted to do it. I really never wanted to do it. I was poor. I needed the money, so I started like sneaking to the subway in the morning.
Yeah.
Like at the time when I started, it was, I think it was still winter.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really go outside, but I know I didn't have a TTC permit either.
Yeah.
So like I went like too early for security.
Yeah.
So I went like 6:30 until 8, and I left at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I got like all the early commuters in the morning. I made like $40 maybe. You know?
Yeah.
So, oh, cool, I made $40. You know. And then I slugged away at it for a bit, almost figuring out how to get good at it. At first I didn't use a loop pedal because I didn't have a portable one. Like the one I use now has like you can run batteries through that, right?
Yeah.
But the one I had like one of those DL4s, those big Line 6 delay units.
The
big green ones.
The green, yeah.
They have a looper in there, but I couldn't really run batteries with that thing.
Yeah.
I think the battery jack on mine didn't work. Plus, it took like 6 of those honking ones, you know. So like,
there's your $40.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Right. So that wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of doing that. I started getting a portable amp. I just started all these like things, but I realized I needed to like make some extra money, so I had to start doing this somehow, some way. So I just like started, and there's definitely some frustrating times. Like I tried doing the outside of the Peaches Jazz Fest, like I think a year or 2 years ago or something like that. A year and a half ago, I guess. And I made over like the course of like 3 hours, I made like $5. And I was like, how is that even possible? The amount of people that pass me, how is that like feasible to make that little over
Playing
that
your
much
ass
time?
off,
Yeah,
pouring
like,
your heart out,
doesn't
and
even
people
work.
just yeah.
You know, like I didn't get it. And there was definitely days where like it wasn't so lucrative, and then I kind of worked on learning how to pick my spots better. And then I started getting okay at picking my spots, and I still didn't always have the best days, but I was usually like, if I wasn't making like close to like $100 or $80, usually it wasn't like worth my time.
Sure. Yeah.
You know. But some days I did good. Like Taste of the Dance Forth this past year, I did like really good.
Nice.
I on the Saturday alone, I think I made like $480. Like.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like. Took me like 4 hours, but like,
that's the thing, right? Because it all kind of balances out that 5. It's just that 5 will have you going home thinking, man, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But it's like you're saying you were poor, and I was thinking, it's like Bruce Springsteen says that your desperation has got to be greater than your fear.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Totally.
And I always thought of that like busking, you know?
Yeah,
it's like,
totally.
you need the money.
You need it,
you know?
yeah. Sometimes you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I've been doing it less, I guess, which has been nice. Like I went to the busking outside the Guns N' Roses concert like a month ago.
Yeah, we went to that too.
Right, yeah, so I went outside of that.
Yeah.
And I did okay, but like beyond that, I haven't really gone much in the past like 2 months, and that's felt great.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah. So that's cool, but I eventually got like okay at knowing where to go and what times to go and what to play that will like work, and I started like. That's partly how I developed this like loop pedal thing. Like over the past like probably 8 months, I started doing loop pedal stuff on my Instagram. Before that, I didn't really do that.
Yep.
I just had like videos of me sitting there going,
Sure.
Right? But like, I realized like I wanted to do my own music, and this is a good means of at least making sounds that are mine.
Yeah.
And also like it works for this like busking thing, because I can make a track up and play over it. People can see me making the song and playing over the thing, and I can do something new. And it's not just like when you're a guitar player and it's just you, there's a lot of space to fill.
Yeah.
And if you're not filling the space consistently, then there's like dead noise. It makes your job huge.
Do you sing at all?
Learning.
Learning, yeah.
I really
That's a whole other challenge.
Yeah, I'm learning. I really, really want to be able to write and release my own material.
Do you write lyrics and write songs that way?
Yeah,
so you're working on that? That's really cool. Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got like a lot of ideas. And
yeah.
A lot of, and I don't have the means of home recording right now, but I used to, and I have like old ideas that I've recorded before, but the things I would do now are much different. I guess, right?
So is that the sort of what you're looking at, what you're wanting to do? The goal?
Like I don't. I don't think I want to be a session guitar player.
Sure. Yeah.
I think I want to do my own music.
Well, you have your own sound, and that's just kind of right.
Yeah.
You know, you got different people fall into that of. It's being able to fill in and sit in with people and do that
be
thing.
Everybody else, but like,
exactly.
I don't want to be anybody else.
Well, the same reason why you started.
Yeah,
That same goal is kind of it.
Exactly. It's still exactly
Yeah.
still it, right? So I want to keep that dream going. You know, I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's just things I want to express that would feel good to me. I feel like it's not about me making something that's special to anyone, but something that's special to me.
Yeah.
If what I'm making feels special to me, then I feel good about it.
And it will translate through that.
Exactly.
We're all human, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I figure. You know, but I figure I can do that best by making sounds that I'm making, because that's how. I feel like. I don't know. I feel like there's sounds I want to make.
Yeah.
You know, that say the things I feel like I want to say.
Absolutely. I think that's a great thing, man.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm just spending like the last 10 years working towards making that happen. So I feel like I'm close, but I still got some work to do on my voice before I can really see that through. But I'm getting there, and I can see it all kind of coming through, and it's exciting to build it. You know. But
how are you working on? You doing with the vocals?
I should be doing it more. What I'm trying to do for now, at least, is doing like rudimentary like warm-ups every day for like half an hour, 40 minutes, and then going through some tunes.
Sure.
You know, and trying to do that as like
your own songs.
Own songs or covers.
Yeah. What covers do you usually gravitate towards?
Like I do a lot of. I think I've done Ain't No Sunshine a million times, or like Old Love by Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Or like.
Sort of the blues and soul sort of thing, the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
because you translate that from a guitar to also the vocal.
So.
And
very much so. Like think there's like a few different tunes too. Like I like Radiohead a lot. And I like Frank Ocean. And I like all these like different kinds of artists.
So you like D'Angelo and stuff like that a lot.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, all about it. I can never sing a D'Angelo tune.
Oh,
never in my life could I ever do that.
Yeah.
But good God, like there's a part of me that can I swear on this?
Of course.
Yeah. There's part of that really wants to do like shit damn motherfucker, but I can't.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Like, never in my life. But
Could own it.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Different life maybe, you know. But even like Joey Landrick does that cover of "Make It With You." Like I would totally do a tune like that.
Yeah.
That would be totally up the alley that I'd want to go.
Yeah.
Or like Chris Goodell does a cool cover of "Along the Watchtower."
Yeah.
Actually, from when I talked about that once, he got that from. What's that guy's name? Does Hendrix a lot? Guy from Toronto.
Jeff Healey?
No, dreadlocked kind of guy. He's more of like a local player. You know him, just maybe see him. Wild T. Ever Wild T?
Oh, I've seen him do a whole Hendrix thing.
Yeah, Wild T.
It was crazy, man.
Yeah. So Wild T took this like they do Along the Watchtower instead of being like what is it like? Instead of being all that whole shebang, they kind of go like.
For a bit if you
sure.
A minute or two. Yeah. Yeah, so you were a busker and you did that because you needed money. And then you started getting some more gigs, teaching.
Yeah. That's weird. I guess I've been teaching for a while. I started teaching when I started playing because I thought that was a really smart means of income.
Yeah.
Like a reasonable, accessible means of income regularly.
Sure. Yeah.
Versus having gigs which I didn't have yet.
Yeah.
So I could do that. So I put flyers up in my neighborhood on the mailboxes, and eventually I got calls. And so I remember my first student, I had no idea what I was doing, and he called me up and said, "You want a guitar lesson?" He came over to my dad's house at the time where I lived, and I sat him down. I'm like, "What do you want to learn?" And he's like, "I don't know." I'm like, I don't know what to show you. And I kind of showed him some of the stuff I was doing. He's like, "Well, I kind of listen to deathcore." I'm like, "I don't know what that is. I've never even heard of that."
So you were learning.
So I was learning, yeah. So me teaching was a big lesson for me.
Yeah.
And it's taught me a lot. But I think out of being minorly frustrated with my old teacher, and starting late helped me become a good teacher.
Yeah.
Because I'm aware of the progress I had to make. I didn't start when I was so young that I wasn't aware of what I was doing.
Yeah.
Where it becomes like so natural that you kind of forget how you began.
Yeah.
I remember how I began because I had to think about it, and I was like 18.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like a 7 or 8 year old.
Yeah.
So it's different. And so like I feel like I know how to start someone from the beginning in a way that's helpful, and I think in a way that you need to do if you're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people that don't consider that start people in the middle in a way that maybe they aren't ready for without even being aware.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's good to start right at the ground.
So what is for you the ground when you get a beginner student?
It depends on what we're doing, but like say
Yeah.
I'm doing like even say I'm doing something like I'm doing I have a teenage kid and he wants to like learn Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
You know, I'll do
so
like,
where would you start there?
I'll do like manic depression,
Sure.
but like I'll do it with the musical things in mind. So
Yeah.
like, the first line is, and it's we have to think it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Before putting it into
Like
sequence, what I
3/4 time. And,
yeah, exactly, yeah. So they're having to count and be knowledgeable of the beat.
Of the time.
And I also want them to be really aware of, like, their fretting. So they don't rush their fretting. And they really take their time with every note, just feeling good. I found, for myself even, I used to really, like, think, okay, I can do it all from here. But, like, I really found it helps my playing if I just treat each note as its own comfortable individual little thing. And it makes my playing start feeling good overall as I go. Because you lose your lightness when you try to keep up with the tempo, and when you try to fret too fast, you lose this like sense of being comfortably on the note.
Yeah.
And the more you just take your time with the first step of putting your fingers on the note, and not sacrificing that time, the more your fretting becomes good, the more your tone is rich, the more like good things happen out of that.
Yeah.
And then we do like the next part, and that'd be like I guess the first part of the tune. It would think it'd be like 1, and it's 2 and 3. And I just got them to play through it slowly.
Yeah.
To like focus on the good things.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not going to go like off the bat. Like, we're going to do okay. This is how like playing this note feels.
Yeah.
This is how playing this note feels.
Yeah.
You're going to put this on the second beat of this bar.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
They start thinking about it right off the bat.
And what time and
Yeah.
getting the foot going, the whole thing, and being connected to
Yeah.
it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of start building good habits off the bat.
Yeah.
Versus like maybe building bad habits without meaning to. And I guess that's still like something you have to be mindful of. Like, but I ideally start them off slow, or even like some of the students I had for a while that like I feel like I wanted to restart back at the beginning again. I give them like, you know the song, what's it called? It's a John Mayer tune. You know the song?
I know the song.
Edge
I
of
don't know.
Desire.
Edge of Desire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like an acoustic version.
That's
does.
right.
Yeah, it's kind
Or
of
it's like a demo or whatever. Yeah.
whatever it is, right? Like it's a weird fingering to do.
I saw he
You know,
got
like-
that from, or he was saying he was trying to get something like Satellite by Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah.
If you hear that song, it kind of has
okay,
a similar.
cool. Right. I
Yeah.
didn't put the connection. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool picking thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's a really cool riff, and it's a weird riff, but like, it's one of those riffs you can't force. Like I found it's one of those riffs where you have to slow down and do the notes individually. This
Yeah.
note feels like this. This one's 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 like this. And not only that, but the more I did that, the more my almost hand positioning started to look like guitar players I watched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I like wasn't rushing my position.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like this feels good. I'm not sure why. My hand's just relaxed on the note, right? And I used to not take the time to have my hand be just as relaxed as it is. A lot of times, actually, what I talk to my students about and what I reference actually is just doing this first, like wrapping your hand around the guitar like it was just something to hold, as if you weren't playing anything. And then your hand just be comfortably around the instrument.
Yeah.
Not that you're holding it and applying pressure, but you want to be around it in a really light, comfortable way. And so you're at a point of rest before you're playing.
Yeah.
And then playing from that point of rest versus playing at a point of stress.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's all everything's relaxed. That's one thing I try to, and it's hard to because when you're practicing and you're doing it, your mind is kind of focused on the thing. But if you could really focus, just on, am I relaxed? How's this feel? Is this motion too big?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Biggest differences, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm big on that. taking the simple things and then doing those simple things right and making good things come out of there.
Yeah.
You know, even if they're wanting to do a lead line, like instead of giving them the whole scale, like, and even if I gave them like the pentatonic, I'd give them like these 5 notes.
Yeah.
How can we make something out of those 5 notes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
This was they were playing like an F. You know, maybe you should do this with like an F, maybe F, G, and A minor kind of thing. You know. And I can do simple examples like.
Yeah, right.
It's like
those natural guitar
like,
players. Yeah, I know. Right, use your ears, and that's it. It's that point of playing where you're not. It's like Joe Satriani said about Jimi Hendrix. It was like he never practiced a day in his life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah.
His ideas and his everything was keeping up with the ideas he heard in his head.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
And it's that being connected.
Yeah. It was
right.
like sitting there practicing his scales to get his scales the best.
Yeah. Because you can never hear that in his playing. Like, oh, here's that part where it's.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just all free and the way he's totally expressing himself.
Yeah. I think that's really really important to know that we're going after that, and that's kind of the center goal versus everything else is kind of extra. You know, and if we have that first.
Yeah, the strong foundation.
Yeah, exactly, right? It really goes far, you know?
Yeah. It's like, Greg Koch said, if your foundation is weak, that building's going to fall.
Yeah, man, exactly. Right? I literally say that to students a lot. Like, you have to build the foundation right. You know, your house is going to fall over, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to do it right, you know?
Let's see, maybe show how you would take something simple like that and then expand on that a little bit further.
For sure. Actually, before we play, I have one thing worth saying about that.
Sure.
A friend of mine talked to me about what he calls small stones and big stones.
Yeah.
And I didn't get this at first when he talked to me about it either, but they do that. There's stones you can stand on and stones where you're passing over them. And I now see them as chord tones, obviously. Yeah. But, like, it's a matter of starting off by putting the chord tone on the right spot of the chord. Mm-hmm. And then, I almost saw it from, like, simplistic music guitar method books. How, like, if you're watching, like... I forget what some of the examples were, but if it's like a D minor chord, the first beat of the bar is an F. It goes to a C chord, and the first beat of that bar is an E. They're chord tones on the first beat. And that's like almost like big stone. And then you can like use small stones to get there. So I might walk into the F like that.
Yeah.
But getting there and putting that on the one is the important part.
Yeah, because that's where the listener will hear too. Yeah. Oh, you're in time.
Yeah, right? So you want to start with the big stone. Yeah. Get your tones in place and then start frilling around with them.
So if you played that little lick and go, and then I hit that F right on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that with a different set of notes, but let's do that again.
Yeah. And the G right there, yeah. You kind of had that almost a motif, this thing that gives you this melody that the listener could go, and then they hear it and it's like, that's so nice. Big on live on there.
Yeah, I'm really, really big on that. And I think, again, part of that is the rhythm. That bum, 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 bum. I was doing like a 4-beat and a 1.
Yeah.
I did that a lot. But, like, I did the same thing. Same thing again later. later.
Exactly, right? You bring back that idea, then it becomes familiar to, you know?
Yeah. You want to think there's different things you can change. I kept the rhythm the same, but I just changed the noting.
Yeah.
Right? And I just changed the noting so it was up a third.
Yeah, it's like a motif, right? You just kind of,
Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
then one idea becomes much larger than that
Yeah,
idea.
and I stick with that. I think what a big thing for me was breaking down a bunch of David Gilmour stuff. Like, you listen to the solo for time.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
And what he's really smart. Like, every time he hits F sharp minor, he
Yeah.
hits F sharp.
Yeah.
Every time he hits A, he hits C sharp.
I noticed that about his playing too. He's right,
You
and
know?
he might have been the first guy, definitely the first rock guitar player I heard, where I could notice that there was a difference.
Yeah.
That, you know, your ear could hear. Oh, you know, he was matching the chord tones.
Yeah.
Landing. There was a lot of intention behind his playing.
Very much so. Yeah. So like, I'm really, really big on that, and I like, I really think both note-wise and rhythmic-wise, like, I find like parallel rhythms interesting in terms of how phrasing works. If you look at phrasing on paper in like a musical notation setting, you can see there are parallel rhythms involved. Even when notes change, you can see that it's like this rhythm again, different set of noting, but it's the same rhythm. Yeah. And you like want to use that in your motifs, I think. It makes your motifs really strong. Yeah. You know, and then it gives you space then to like let the motif be there, and you don't have to like rush. You're not just doing a bunch of licks. Yeah. You're like telling a bit of a story, and you can like let it breathe a little bit. You know? Right. From there I just kind of see it like following a string. Once you know where your starting point is, you can kind of just see where it wants to go next, and you kind of just follow it. And then your ideas, what you're hearing in your head, starts to match up with what you're doing because you fall into something. Yeah, exactly. And that's when the magic happens. Yeah, right? exactly. Yeah. That's right, man. That's right. In terms of like little techniques too, like I've been doing this a lot lately. Like the pull-off thing, like that. Like, it's something about how I'm doing it. I don't know. Like, it's a little bit of a different. Yeah, because you put a bit of an accent on that too, right? Yeah, it's almost like I got kind of from Philip Sace again. So instead of just being like, yeah, you know, so it sounds like really cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, it's just kind of how the pull-off sounds. Which one are you pulling off? Like, just like. Yeah, that's kind of how I do the. I think where I got it from is I broke down like John Mayer's version of "Bold as Love." Yeah. So he's doing like. And it's that lick. Somebody does that pull off. Yeah. That sort of thing. Even like that thing there. Okay. I gotcha. So it's not just going. It's, he doesn't add that. No, he doesn't. John Mayer added that. Yeah. That's a cool little thing you got there. Little thing. It's kind of the rhythm of it. So I kind of use that. I realized like players I use or like use that already. So it's like, you know, it's a really cool kind of sound. It's all about the. It's almost like instead of like I want to do just that note, but I'm adding the pull off into that note. Yeah. It's like. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, and I pick it again. You pick it again. Like, yeah. To pick that one, you pick it again too. That's a really cool sound. It is cool. And it's simple, but it sounds cool. Yeah, it really gives you like playing some life, you know? Yeah. Just like you could say, you know, you could say two different things two different ways. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, exactly, right? And I like kind of somehow doing that on the blue note is cool. Oh, yeah. Really cool. That is. Yeah. You know? I like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like those guys too. Oh, I love that. I noticed that about you. Kind of have that sliding up a lot that you do. Yeah, like at the end of a note kind of thing. It's like the minor third or whatever. Oh, and it's how you kind of bend that third too, right? Yeah, exactly. Like a singer would do that. Absolutely. Right? That's what I love about the one string thing. It starts to become so melodic the way a singer would be. Or a way a slide guitar, a good one, could really make the, squeeze that out of it, right? Yeah, I even like cited a few like sax players. There's a few like Louis Jordan solos I broke down. Nice. And like it's cool how his solos like they fit the guitar boxes, but it's about the note choice. Yeah. It still fits like. It all still fits right in there, but it's about how he puts the phrasing. It really makes you focus on the phrasing of it versus just the note box.
Yeah.
Thing, you know?
Just a different way of saying it.
Yeah, you know, like, super, super smart, you know, like, it's cool to, like, think outside of the guitar in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, think of it as, like, music as an overall expression of the noting versus an expression of the instrument itself.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see, like, this player thought about his choices like this in a musical way.
Yeah.
And whether it doesn't matter the instrument then. It's like, how do they phrase their stuff? How do they think about melodic lines? How do they see chord changes? How would like Joey Landreth interpret this set of changes? How would so-and-so interpret?
Yeah.
How would they you know, like...
So when you do that and you transcribe, then you get to live into that and that spirit that the person had when you're studying something. It's beyond just learning it. You get to see what were they thinking.
Exactly.
What was the intention behind hitting this instead of that and hitting it this way? Yeah.
Totally. I really think that's more worth learning than the part itself almost sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
Because then
I think that's the thing that's also missing because a lot of people they will just say, here's the thing, play like this, put your fingers here.
Yeah.
Right? And it's kind of missing the whole point.
All of it.
Right?
Yeah, you're missing all the important potatoes there.
Yeah.
Like you need that. You know, like you really, really need that stuff. I find it really is again undervalued sometimes, and like in sometimes like a lesson setting or just in a general setting. I find it's important to value those things. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One, you know, like, also just thinking about, you know, your expression and the means to get into it and having, you know, the tragedy in your life that you had and that a lot of, you know, the great musicians have had that. Roger Waters lost his dad, Jimi Hendrix, through his childhood and the rough childhood, he was able to create what he did. Dave Navarro with Jane's Addiction, with the way he, and it goes on and on.
For sure.
With musicians that they could find this thing that they could... John Lennon.
Yeah, of course.
It's I mean, the list is pretty endless. It seems it's I mean, and through that, and I love that concept. I think it's that you could take something that's you know a tragedy and turn it into something that's it's alchemy, right?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. I think in some ways, like I find that like I don't know. I found I almost find it weird sometimes when I don't know. I like seeing that in a person. I like seeing them expressing their life versus their musicianship. You know, I like seeing that.
Yeah.
It doesn't I think that can outshine musicianship.
I think for the listener, the real stuff always cuts through.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, sometimes even just the simplest stuff, just a way that somebody could do it. A simple lyric. Sometimes it's those simple things that you know they make it becomes art, and that's why I always think I'm more about the art than the you know, because you want to make some, you know, a good artist and great artists, they could make somebody feel the joys and the pains of being alive, you know.
Totally.
And to be able to do that, and it's not about, you're never thinking about the
how good is guitar playing is.
And some of the, you know, like, and sometimes there's some real songs that I love. And you just kind of like, it's so magical, you just don't even want to look at it. You know, like I love like Neil Young, like Helpless. Yeah. And you start looking and you're like, wow, it's just 3 chords.
Yeah, you almost don't want to touch it.
Right, it's just like, leave it.
Alone.
Right?
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, man.
So you found through your own playing and stuff that it was a thing to throw yourself into, and it helped you. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, it saved my life. Like, really. I can't say enough about how much it helped me and changed me, and like I didn't have hair before then. Like I shaved my head before this. Like totally. Looking back on pictures is funny.
You went all in.
Yeah, I went all in. Like with me, I actually I saw Dazed and Confused, the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like and the main character Pink had, like, he's got long hair. I'm like, I really want to have long hair like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to do that.
Yeah.
It changed everything.
That's awesome. And as far as what do you feel like, you know, like now with where you're at and backing people up and sitting in, and what are some of the things you've learned through those experiences?
I've learned. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like I'm continuing to learn a lot. I feel like it's never. It's really worth valuing being prepared, like truly being prepared.
Yeah.
And not just thinking that you got. Like, if you're hired to learn something, I've made the mistake often of thinking that I had it when I maybe didn't have it.
Yeah.
And, like, really being prepared.
Yeah.
And knowing what that means. Like, the second bar in the bridge goes like this, and my hand's going to be here doing this, and I'm like really like knowing every little intricacy of what you have to do for your performance.
Yeah.
Is really important. And like there were times where like something I'm still like working on doing, but like little things. Like I was working on this tune with a singer I play with. Her name's Anna Saison. That's what I'm playing next Sunday with. And like there's a tune of hers called Electric that we do, and like there's a part where it goes to like an A flat, I guess it is.
Okay.
Like simple things like I found that the power chord sounded good like that. It's so different. I'm actually putting fifth, first, fifth versus like first, fifth, first.
Yeah.
You know, like that just sounds better. It's still not quite.
And also where that would fit in with the bass and the
Yeah,
cymbals
all the
and
things. Yeah,
everything
I'm
else.
With that. Like
Yeah.
I'm not playing the root right now.
Yeah.
The bass player.
Bass player play that.
Yeah.
You do something more interesting.
Yeah, and I'm
Harmonically.
really considering all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And like even like simple things like I cut out notes a lot. Like when I do like a C add 9 chord kind of like this, I don't use the 4th or the 3rd string.
Yeah, I'm big on muting too.
Yeah. So I'm using like just root, 9th, and 5th. There's a certain richness that comes from just like
Absolutely.
There's an openness in the middle. You don't put the clutteredness and the out-of-tune G string in there too. You know what I mean? Like it's just like 3 notes, you know. And again, same just like with this chord. There's a richness to like having less, but picking the right tones in your voicing.
Yeah, I never really understood big bar chords myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was never really...
I think
it's like a... my buddy and I were talking about it before. He's like, he thinks it's like a tie over from like big band-aids where they needed it to sound big.
Yeah,
It was like in 2017. It's like,
you don't...
You know?
It's not often I really need to do this. I do like...
It has a purpose in certain things, but yeah.
It's more a matter of like I see the chord. I can see all that.
There's like 3 different ways of playing an A right in there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I started doing it with my my pinky instead. Again, I'm not sure why I started using my pinky so much recently. Like that. But yeah, like again, you want to see the voicings involved. You know what I mean? I think it's more important, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
So like so where you fit in the band, backing people up.
Right. Yes. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. Like I guess even with my old teacher, like. It was the first time he picked out the guitar parts in the background.
Yeah.
Like, I forget what he like put on a song. I think it was like, I think it was like Hoochie Coochie Man or something like that.
Yeah.
And there was like, and like things in the background. My teacher picked it out, and like I started like seeing how this fits in the band context. Where it was just being like thinking you have to do all the sound yourself. I think I used to think that.
Yeah.
You have to like be playing all the time to make the sound like no, you want to think about your role in the song.
Yeah.
You know, like and how it fits the bar, or how it fits the band, how it the bar means bar music, not the
Yeah.
How it fits like the musical stuff going on, right? Yeah. You want to like think of how what's going on complements what you're doing. And really I don't know, I think people can overplay a lot. And in ways that make things can be kind of messy almost, but it depends on depends on who you're watching. But like I find like a minimalism is good if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of being minimal. Even like sometimes if I'm complimenting like say I'm doing a C chord, I sometimes just do the 9th and the 3rd and just sit on those two. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe 9th, 3rd, and 7th. Like.
Yeah. And when you get that, like even if B flat, if I'm playing this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
Right, it starts to fill up. You start to hear this harmonic,
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So I think what's it called? Like your basic musical guitar skills are important in that regard. And even like in like a band setting, once you know how all these like inversions and things like that work, you can start to see how it fits into doing tunes.
Yeah.
And in that regard too, like over the past little while, like I feel like for a long time I worked on my skill set and didn't like learn a lot of tunes, and now I'm going back to like learning tunes with the skill set I've built.
Yeah.
And I can really more than ever see how the guitar fits what's going on as a role. It's a role in the music versus being like the thing. Like, you know, yeah. Even like the chorus of like Fire.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's kind of going like. But I find like it cuts out this guy.
Oh yeah.
I find it just like.
I find anytime that Jimmy was almost able to keep the G open, if it was in key, he did it.
Yeah, very much.
You know?
So. Yeah. And again, I think it's kind of an extension of this chord to me.
Yeah.
It's stacking fifth because I definitely hear that when I'm going to that second chord. That in there.
Yeah.
So like there's 2 bars of music going on, but you're not playing everything the whole time.
I always added the third in there, so that's cool.
Yeah. I like kind of doing it 1, 5, and 2. Certain richness to that chord. Same chord as like. It's a really, really powerful chord. Like I think it's worth knowing the advantages of like fitting, like just like knowing the guitar part versus like seeing it as a bar of this chord.
Yeah.
This is how the part goes for that chord in the bar.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, I'm playing D minor for a bar.
Yeah,
You
and
know
you would
what I mean?
see that even some of the Hendrix, you know, like how he would sometimes play here and have that like Wind Cries Mary.
Yeah.
Keep that open.
Yeah,
Next
exactly.
time he's coming here,
Yeah,
he's playing
exactly.
the inversion.
Exactly.
You know, all that
Yeah,
sort of
it
stuff,
makes it
right?
makes it really full.
Yeah, it's
you
like he
know?
found every way of playing the chord and then playing with that, out of that chord.
Exactly.
Right? I think that's a great part. I love doing that. Just
For
you know,
sure.
taking something like that, moving it around.
For sure, yeah. Like a good player would take simple chords and make them sound interesting because musically it's a powerful enough tool to know how to use if you know how to use it strong enough.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't need to do a lot to make it sound great, you know, but like knowing how to make those simple chords come alive says a lot about what you're playing.
Yeah.
I found, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's really, really important. And even simple things like recently I had to learn. Like Maroon 5 does this cover of Sex and Candy, the Marcy Playground.
Yeah, I know the song, but I don't know the cover. Yeah,
I had to learn their version for this gig I had, the one on Friday actually.
Yeah.
And the guitar line is just like a kind of like muted line, but like in regards to how the band all works, like it fits perfectly. Not like, and the chorus is kind of like, and it's like just knowing the part. I'm not gonna play like, I guess the A minor, then F. I'm not gonna play out that. It kind of just goes 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And like knowing how the parts like.
Then if you play the muted part, how it fits.
Yeah, you want to know how it all fits, right?
So I love like listening to like Prince.
Yeah.
You hear that, and you hear how not only that, it's just how one part will come in, one part will come out, the funky guitar will come in here.
Yeah.
Might be a simple thing, but it just adds to. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it's like
everything's got to lock in. You know?
Yeah, and the timing and rhythm is just you know, it's on it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And so I guess I practice with all that in mind. Like when I'm practicing for like whatever, when I'm practicing, like I think about how I'm fitting the band in my head, as well as not just like playing it for myself. Like I think, okay, this is the bass player's got this, I'm gonna be playing here, and this is gonna be happening. The drummers, you know, like I'm considering the band as I'm practicing.
Of course,
you know, and that you want to see. I think it's worth doing that.
So when you play with Chris that time, did he just send you some songs and say, "Hey, this is"?
Literally sent me nothing.
Oh, really? You just showed up?
Yeah. He just said, like, it's just kind of like a blues gig. You just show up and you'll be fine.
145.
Like, yeah, all right, no problem. No sweat.
Yeah.
There was someone wanted to look at, like, Ophelia. Like, I know Ophelia, but it's got, like, the... And it goes... And then...
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to, like, at least know, okay, so it's C, and then it goes to an E7, and it's like... I want to, like, be aware of some of those changes, right?
Sure.
But, like, for the most part, it's just, like, you know, I just follow along. I'm like, all right, cool. It's fun though. Like, that was a really fun gig.
That's awesome.
I had a lot of fun doing that. I felt like lucky because I've gone to see them a lot.
Yeah.
Like for a while.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't expect them to ask me. And the day it was a Wednesday, and they said, "Hey, are you free tomorrow?" I'm like, "Are you serious? Is this a joke?" Like, yeah, of course I'm free. You guys want to play with me? Like, what the hell? Like, yeah, I'd love to. It'd be great. So, It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't get a set list.
No, you just gotta show up.
Yeah, just show up.
Yeah, you're pro.
Yeah, like, all right, cool.
Oh, that's
Felt
awesome.
good. Yeah, for sure.
I guess you see them enough to you kind of know, but then there's some certain changes that happen and things that you just kind of gotta find your way. And
for sure. And even that was a good lesson for me. Like, you want to keep your head up. I think when you're playing an advanced setting, you want to really, really keep your head up. And I think I'm guilty sometimes for not keeping my head up. And there's a time where like we were doing it all on the Watchtower actually, and I guess I was really excited. And he looked at me, and I thought he meant like play. And he didn't even play.
Oh, yeah.
And I like took a lead, and he's like, I wanted the keyboard player to play. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Screw him.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That happens though, right? It's live.
Yeah,
live music is live.
And I just apologized and said, I'm sorry. I'll keep my head up, And he said, no problem. And it was just like a small exchange, and that was that, But like that was good for me. Like it was good for me to be in that scenario and have someone say like, hey, this is maybe something to think about,
Yeah.
It's something to think about. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't. Maybe I should have been watching more.
Yeah, you learn from that.
You learn from that. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
And I, at this point, more than ever, I don't really care to do anything but learn. I just want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be the best or I don't care. I just want to learn more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to learn more.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my head's at. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And gear, I like it, man. Tube Screamer,
simple.
Super Overdrive.
Yeah.
That's
simple as yeah. I
Fender Deluxe Reverb.
Yeah, like I found I'm a big believer that tone is in your hands. And like there is a few like effects I might want, but like they'd be circumstantial. Like in the chorus of this tune, I need a chorus because that's where the chorus goes.
Yeah.
But like it depends on how. Depends on the tune. Like for the most part, I kind of stick to these two, or I'll use a wah if I need to for certain tunes. Like we one of the tunes I do with Anna, we do that TLC song Waterfalls.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And it's like it's a wah line, the whole thing. It's
yeah.
Like the wah part. Yeah. So if you don't have the wah, it doesn't sound right. So
yeah, you need that.
You need that.
It's like Voodoo Child without the.
Yeah, it just sounds weird. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I use it when I need to in that regard, but like for the most part, I think this is good. Like all I want to do, I kind of see this as like almost like a volume kind of boost, more than like an
right, just to turn up for a solo or something, right?
Yeah. So it's still a little broken up, but it's still kind of clean. And this I like is like a little more. I like normally I run my amp pretty hot and I like play light. I'm a big fan of that versus like playing heavy.
Yeah.
I find if you make the amp work for you can get a lot of richness out of your tone.
Yeah.
Versus like choking the tone away. There are times where I'm guilty of like cracking both of them on if it's loud and I need to like
really crank it up a notch.
But I find you don't want to oversaturate. I find I used to oversaturate my tone too much.
I think everybody does in the beginning,
right?
Yeah.
I think oversaturation kind of cuts the guitar sound out of it. And you want to kind of keep that guitar sound in there. You want to push it, but you don't want to lose it. Otherwise it becomes like kind of a wash.
Yeah, I always think that's the best tones are ones that have a lot of definition. Yeah. You hear Stevie Ray Vaughan, the Tube Screamer or something like that running the amps hot.
Yeah, for sure.
He plays hard too, but his whole thing, right? There's always a lot of definition.
Always super clear.
Yeah.
Extra clarity,
Yeah,
for sure, man. And I'm big on that, like, it's like, I don't know, like, I think things should be full. Like, there's a guitar player from Newmarket I remember watching. There was an older fellow than me who was really great. I was watching him in a bar, and he was playing like a solo over like a blues tune, and he kept it so simple, and I was just like so blown away by like how strong it sounded without doing much.
Yeah.
Like it was like a BB box, like.
That's sort of the
Yeah. So it's just like doing that, but it's like how he sat on the notes and like, everything was really full.
I think learning to even just that. I would do that with my students where I'm like, here's the BB box.
Yeah.
You can't play out of it.
Yeah.
This is all we're doing.
Yeah. All you're doing.
Make this,
there.
learn how to speak with 4 words,
Yeah, exactly.
And everything that you could say. And I mean, all the amount of emotion he was able to draw out of right?
For sure.
I mean, he did more than that, but that was kind of
the, course,
yeah.
Exactly. And there's like, I think there's a power to that, like, having the things you do just be really defined. Like if you I find people muddle the details too much sometimes. You
Yeah.
know, like you can make the simple things sound really strong. You don't need to play more.
Yeah.
If you just like lean into the simple things really strongly.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of how I see it. You know.
No, I dig it. I dig
Yeah.
your approach. What? So you're writing songs, you're writing lyrics, and how are you finding that challenge of? Because it's different from the guitar playing, right?
Yeah. I found I don't know, like again, I think I started from a different place from a lot of people. Like, I feel like my best quality is not being a guitar player. I feel like my best quality is like being a person.
Yeah.
And I feel like by putting my person into my things, then
It comes
easy.
out. People get an idea.
Yeah.
You know, this is what this guy's about, and
Yeah.
yeah, on a deeper level than just a guitar.
Yeah, and I feel like that simplifies things.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I still want to work on my song. Like, I've got work to do. Like, being a songwriter and pursuing that journey is like being a guitar player and pursuing that. They're all like
Absolutely.
things to pursue that you have to get good at. Being a singer, like, these are all separate things you need to get good at on their own.
Yeah.
You know, so there's lots to learn.
Oh, I know.
There's like a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But I've, I guess I'm
Do you have anything that you do for writing? You know, have your guitar, you have your warm ups with the guitar. You try to get that flow and get some ideas working.
Yeah.
You know, with the writing, do you find is there any?
What I used to like, I've been doing this. I haven't had a chance to do this much because I don't currently have a laptop. But what I used to do is to like sit with GarageBand a lot.
Yeah.
And just like play with ideas in that a lot, and like just like layer things, just like play a part and make something else up and go from there.
Yeah.
You know. So I guess lately I've been doing that kind of with my loop pedal, but even then, I kind of think bigger, and it's hard for me to get until I can like put it back down on like a laptop again. It's hard for me to get them all down.
Yeah.
You know? So right now it is almost like creatively frustrating in the meantime, but I'm still sitting with
using your resources.
Using my resources.
Also, the reason why it took me a while to do that, I had this idea of doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have the gear, I don't have this.
Yeah.
And it was something I took from filmmaker Robert Rodriguez, where he always said he didn't even have a camera when he did his first movie. He's like, I just borrowed it. I didn't invite nobody because I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
And it was just finding all your resources. So-and-so has a mic, you got,
That's cool.
and just making what you have work for you.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's the way to do it. I think people overcomplicate things and focus on the things that aren't important. Just you can focus on the doing. That's good. So I definitely have my work to do in that regard. Like if I have a song that's a good song, I don't need anything but me to do the song.
Yeah.
So I definitely I agree with that principle a lot. So I'm definitely sitting with my ideas at home. And I've got like little things I've started to write. Like I wrote like simple riffs, but like.
Yeah.
And, like, just putting my ideas together.
Yeah.
And thinking, okay, where would I go from here in my tune? Where would I go here? Like, and I guess part of it comes from the fact that a lot of music I listen to isn't guitar music. I'm a big fan of like artists that are not even guitar players at all. Like I love James Vincent McMorrow.
I don't know him. Yeah.
Super cool artist. I love the dude. Super like expressive music.
Nice.
You know, like Matt Corby is really great.
I do know. I've heard a couple of things on YouTube.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Yeah, really cool
awesome
dude.
The way he does his vocals. And great tone on the vocals.
I just like interesting artists.
Yeah.
Like, I think Frank Ocean's really interesting. Way different kind of music. Like, I could never make music like that, but like
that's the really beauty
cool.
of sort of that thing, right? Of like hearing an artist like that and realizing, I can't. That's not. Sometimes the music, I always feel like I had an idea when I was younger, like this is the music I want to make, but it's not what I'm supposed to make. You know what I mean? I'll just go and appreciate that. Exactly, it's not me. You know,
exactly.
You just kind of you know that you'd be trying to do something.
Exactly. So I feel like, in that sense too, I'm a big fan of like making real sounds in a room, if that makes sense. Like as much as I like production, I like all those things, and I'm guilty in my own time of like layering and doing all the things involved. Something about like making sounds in a room that's special.
Yeah.
Like something about how it reverberates. And I don't know. It's hard to say like a human voice and an instrument. It's hard to recreate that sound, and I really want to be able to sit in a room and just like do that myself and sit there and do like a tune and then sing over my guitar playing and have that be the song.
Yeah.
I'm really working towards doing that, and I want to still like make an album on my own and like do all the stuff involved with doing a record and all that stuff. But like I want to like have the foundation be like I got good like song ideas that I like, that I connect with, that I can sing by myself on my instrument in a room alone.
I love
start
it.
there.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's kind of my goal's much the same, actually.
Yeah.
I played in a lot of bands and I was doing that, and then at the end I realized, you know, and it's been hard because you have to learn these things.
Yeah.
How am I going to write?
Yeah.
What do I want to say?
Yeah.
Singing is another huge challenge.
Yeah.
So you start to kind of, you know, lose your patience a bit.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
It's hard to keep that, especially like you said, you know, you just turned 30, I'm 28, and I've, you know, been doing it a while. So then, but it's hard just to kind of, you know, stay, much like you said, learning one note, staying with it, just stay with that and enjoy that for a bit, right?
Yeah,
and try to find it out, you know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I find like it's, pursuing it's my biggest joy, so I know I'm just gonna keep pursuing it. But it definitely, comes with its challenges. I feel like I have an interesting story. Like, I don't think I have an average like life story.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I have a share of experiences that are not like average life experiences. And I think out of that, like songwriting for me would be more in like, writing lyrics and all that, be more means of just trying to like talk about my story versus having to create a song. Like, I don't have to like fabricate anything. Like, I've got enough to talk about. I've got
and
plenty.
that's the good thing though.
Yeah.
You got the experience, the life experience
Yeah.
to draw from.
Yeah, I feel like I've got plenty, and then stuff to like put on paper. So I just gotta like put that down into words that I like.
Yeah.
I don't need to like I don't know. I've had songwriting sessions with people where they're trying to say, well, what's the song going to be about? And I'm like, I think that should be like something you decide off the bat.
Yeah.
Like from the get go, that should be like priority number one. Even if you don't necessarily like, let me explain that. When I'm starting to write a song, I don't decide that right away. Always, sometimes I'm just like playing, and things turn into things. Like even John Lennon said he doesn't know what the song is till it's done. Sometimes.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
you know. But I guess what I mean is I wouldn't want to make a song with the intention of making a song to fabricate a circumstance so that it's about this, like it's about a guy and a girl and this and that. I wouldn't.
It's hard to do that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to just.
Yeah, and then it's not really you. You're not putting yourself into it.
You're making a song for a song's sake.
Yeah.
It's like art for art's sake. Are you doing art for art's sake? Or are you doing art for a purpose? Like, I find the purpose is the important part. And even if you don't necessarily, even if you don't know what your purpose is at first, that's fine. But I think doing with that in mind is important versus trying to. I don't know, if you just like are genuinely yourself, I think the best things happen.
Yeah, and I think people feel it, the realness of something as well, beyond just the, and you know, we could go into many other things, but like, you know how the music is nowadays, and people listen to this stuff, and it's all just like McDonald's, it's just on the radio to be bought and sold. People listen to it, they can't. I think in some ways people are losing the thing of the real.
I agree.
What it is, you know, because you think of Pink Floyd, like that used to be. Yeah. There was nothing bigger than that. People were, and it was made, you know, and it was real stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Pink Floyd and all those. It's art.
Yeah.
It's taking a thing. I can't even believe. You know, we're talking about things that I couldn't even believe that they could accomplish some of the things with the concepts that they had.
Yeah, of course.
And you know,
things are in a weird place in that sense now. Like teams of songwriters writing songs for people, and the people don't even write. There's all these things like Derek Trucks was at I think it was the Grammys, and he commented saying it's kind of weird that a lot of the artists winning awards don't even play an instrument. Yeah, like that's bizarre. This is a music awards show. Yeah, people don't even play. Yeah, don't even play an instrument. Like, and you don't even write your own songs. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, like you're like this like figurehead for this thing, but like.
Yeah, the machine, right?
Yeah, like what is it? What do you? I don't know. Like, I was even like thinking about this to myself. Like, what art is to you personally is really important. Like, what you want to express is really important in regards to like what success is for you. Like I fully expect the music I want to make is not going to be widely popularized among like there's an entire generation that's younger than me that I'll never connect with. Yeah, I realize that. Yeah, like I don't listen to Drake.
Well, you start going and you start seeing. I know, and that's how I know. I've got so many to talk to people too. It's like
trap music.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, man, I heard James Brown, I heard Ray Charles. I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know what real is, and I just don't really like it.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel that bar is being lowered from what is, you know, what, and even the sound of it. People, because it doesn't sound like human beings playing music.
It's it's a studio.
Yeah.
It sounds like a studio. I find that strange. Like with the music I want to make, I want to not lose the sound of being in a room, if that makes sense. Like, I think there's something like, it's a good example, like, Frank Ocean's like first really big tune was this tune called Thinking About You, and I found it was on record really overproduced. The vocals are really like, they got some kind of like, it's an auto-tune, but it's also some kind of vocal processing. There's something going on that's more than just his voice. And when I've heard him do it live, it sounds like his voice, and it sounds like a band.
Yeah. And
with the music I want to make, I want to not lose that. Yeah. I find people lose that on records. Even like I like Bon Iver a lot, but like on record, he really,
especially the last one.
Yeah, there's a lot of processing.
Yeah.
You know, like and I've heard like a few clips of him live where it's just like him and a piano, and it's like gorgeous.
That's all I find with his music. Yeah. That's all. You know, it's like sometimes I hear with songwriters I love.
Yeah.
If you just strip it down,
yes.
like you know, I like a Ryan Adams or something. I like some of those records, but when I hear him play just acoustic in the voice, it's like, man, that to me gets me more than the whole thing.
More.
You know,
and I find it weird that we're in a state where like people don't make records. Like that's almost the opposite. People want the package thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that makes sense because that's how radio standards work.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't want to lose that sound of like having it be the real sounds. You know, like we can hear the room and like Zeppelin,
you could hear the mic bleeds.
Yeah, the things,
right?
Yeah, I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, like
it's breathing, living thing.
Yeah, I want to keep that. I think that's worth keeping. I found like I don't want it to sound like it's sterile.
Yeah.
I find a lot of music can sound sterile, where they kind of strip out all of that from it. They take all that out.
Yeah.
So you just hear like the production and the tune.
Yeah.
But like I want that bit of like humanness in there.
Of course.
I want that. I think that's important, and I find it like you can. I find I connect with music more when I hear that.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think it's important to like. I don't know. Lean on your songwriting and your skills versus leaning on production.
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
I mean, a song, it should sound good with just one guy,
an
acoustic, and a vocal.
Even in my opinion, you could take it further. I think if your song is good, you could play that thing on a music box with just the melody and the chords.
Yeah.
And the song is still there.
Yeah.
You know, like
a song should sound good stripped to the bare minimum,
the bare
right?
pieces. Yeah. You know, it could be like some analog 8-tone thing. You know, and you could still make the song happen.
Yeah.
Like the song is the musical principles involved. And
yeah.
If you can make those things strong, the song's gonna be strong.
I always find it is, and that's something I've realized as I get older too. It is all about the song.
Yeah.
It's like I'll go out and I'll see, and I've as a guitar player, you go through your own trips. You go see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see this guy because he could really rip, but then you'll kind of leave feeling like just empty.
Yeah.
And you want to leave and like questioning things. You know what I mean? Thinking about it. It's art. It sticks with you. You know what I mean? And it should mean something. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. The best performance, best live show I've ever seen, actually, seeing Radiohead. Like, they are like, how should I put this? Like, I've never seen them as like players.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't see Johnny Greenwood as like a session guitar player.
Yeah.
Or Tom York as like a virtuosic singer that would be like studio friendly. Like they're kind of weird.
Totally.
Actually, but they're like I find they really focus like their performance was really expressive. Like superbly expressive. It seems like the expression was put first versus like the like being a player. Like it's like the opposite of like if you go see like Medeski, Martin and Wood or whatever, like those like or Schofield or any of those like dudes that are like player heavy, like it's a different world. I find I don't really like the people that listen to that as well.
Yeah.
I find I don't like relate to the music because it's like it's like a music for music's sake.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and
like,
then not that I need something.
I need something to like feed my soul. You know?
Yeah,
So like seeing Radiohead is really like it felt like emotionally powerful and like, palpable. Like I like feel this energy and it felt like it was really powerful.
Yeah,
and I find a lot of times when I see guitar players they miss that, and like I think that's important to keep even in a guitar solo.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Man. When I for me a life-changing moment was I saw Chili Peppers. I was 16 and John Frusciante was in the band, and you know I was a fan of his and I was a fan of the records, and I thought I'm gonna watch Flea.
Yeah.
But man, he was on something else, and I still never, because he was playing solos that weren't on the record.
Right,
he was going for it. They were taking risks. They were doing stuff that they were not going to do the next night. And he was really playing. It was like it was a spirit, man. It was not. It was beyond just hey, I got this and this and that's and cool. It just. I remember leaving that show and I thought, whoa, I got work to do.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And not only that, just finding out who, you know, because he's, you know, lived that sort of life where that's why you could only, I remember seeing, like, I saw a clinic with Gordy Johnson, and he said, you know, you could go and buy everything that Slash has, but do you want to live like that?
Yeah, oh my God.
You know? Yeah. Because that's the way you get to that sound.
Yeah,
you know?
No joke. I'm a big believer in that. Like, I believe you can hear someone's, like, person in their playing, and I think that, like, you can hear someone's struggle in their playing, and, like, whatever their life experience is. Like, if a person's life hasn't challenged them, I think you can hear that lack of, like, you can hear that in their playing. You can hear... You can just hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I know with like Frusciante, he had a hard time for a while there. Like he had some rough stuff. So like I know he's definitely got a lot of life experience behind his fingers. You know. Yeah,
and that was what, you know, when he saw it. It was beyond music.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was beyond guitar playing. It was you know, and it was just, you know, you felt it. Everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Remember, it's like, and I've seen a lot of guitar players since, and you know, it's very rare you get a guy who they could really kind of, at least for me, you know, I mean, they exist, but I think especially the world now of like, you know, a lot of chasing that need for speed, all these things that are kind of trips outside of themselves. So I think as guitar players. You know, I've certainly been guilty of that and getting into that whole thing, you know.
Of course. Yeah,
but just finding out who you are as an artist and that whole thing, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah,
right?
I agree completely, man.
Well, man, we could talk another couple hours. I really appreciate you being here, man.
Pleasure,
so
man.
it's awesome to meet you. Tell everybody how to, you know, where to follow you.
I guess find me on Instagram. I think I'm most active with Instagram of all the things I use. My full name is Joseph Piilonen. That's JosepPhiilonen. So if you search that on Instagram, you'll find me. You can look me up on whatever other social media. It's all that name. I'm the one with that name. So
it's really good Instagram. So really suggest all you guys follow that. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly found it very inspiring myself.
Thank you very much, man. Yeah,
thank
happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Maybe we'll just play a little bit out. I'll just take a thing, you know, sort of that B minor thing.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that was good.
Awesome. Cool.
Cool, man. Thank you.